folks, what I want to talk to you about today is carrying your concealed weapon. The one I carry, what I recommend, and what my favorite one is. And I'd also like to talk about these yahoos out there that just because you can open carry, they're being a little bit ridiculous. They're being jerks. And they're causing problems for the rest of us who are just trying to be low-key, law-abiding, gun-owning citizens. You got punks, and that's all they are, is punks out there. Say, look at me, I can carry my AR-15 on my back into Starbucks. I can sit in a chair in front of Starbucks and drink my coffee while me and my buddy have our weapons on our backs. Aren't we cool? You fucking turds. I'm sorry, but that's all they are. They're just a bunch of damn turds. You think you're cool? You guys out there saying, look at me, look what I'm doing. They're not toys. And it's just like these guys that go out here and wear all kinds of military medals and shit, and then they were never in the military. Y'all posers, you imposters, you're just a bunch of punk turds. You ain't no better than them black kids running around with their britches hanging down off their ass. They want to show off their butt, and you want to show off how you are a butt. So anyway, as far as open carry, there is a time and a place for it, in my opinion, and that's all this is. This is just my opinion. I ain't got nothing against anybody open carry. You can carry them for a purpose that makes sense, not just because you want to be seen. You don't carry a weapon to be seen. You carry a weapon because you carry a weapon for self-defense. You carry a weapon because you need to go from one place to the other with it. But you don't do it to just say, look at what I've got. You're stupid. Anyway, enough of that. Now, there are times whenever, somebody wants to carry their weapon on their hip. Totally understand it. My old buddy Idaho Hillbilly, his daughter, she's always packing. I wouldn't want to mess with her. But it's a lot different out in the hills in a sparsely populated area, or an area where everybody's got guns. But of course, you go into Miami, everybody's got guns too. It's just they're holding up liquor stores and mugging people. But anyway, there's a time, there's a place for everything. On my little farm, I always am armed because I never know when a feral dog may come up. Never know when there might be a rabid coyote, a fox. There's more to carrying a weapon for self-defense than just because you're afraid somebody else might shoot you. I mean, snakes. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons to carry a weapon outdoors. But my weapon of choice, if I had the money, my weapon of choice for my concealed carry would be the Smith & Wesson Airframe 38. I mean, it just fits in your hand. It don't weigh nothing. You slip it in your pocket, you don't even know you got it in your pocket. I think the bullets weigh as much as the cartridges weigh as much as a daggum gun itself. I really liked it. I had one that had the low profile hammer on it. Didn't have the hammer that stuck out like your thumb. It had just like a little button that slid on the back of it. I know some of them are hammerless also. But man, I really liked that little thing. And but I had to sell it one year. I wanted to buy my children Christmas presents. So I didn't go out here and not pay my bills like some people. I paid my bills, but I sold something I had to buy something for my children because they're more important. But anyway, what I carry now is a little Phoenix Arms 22 automatic. I would prefer a revolver, but I can't pay $300 and $400 and $500 for a revolver. I like doing it cheap. If I were to give my wife a weapon to carry in her purse or in her pocket or in a holster, I would definitely make sure she's got a revolver. Like I mentioned before, on the gun every prepper and household ought to have, it ought to be a revolver. But this is my choice. It's just a little 22, shoots 22 long rifles. It's made by Phoenix Arms in Ontario, California. American made, and it's just a nice overall weapon. It fits in my hand. It fits right in the front pocket of my pants, no problem. I really like it. The shape of it here, I like this because my hand is captured underneath that, as opposed to my little 380 by Cobra. This old feller, whenever I'm holding it, that right there tends to catch on my hide, and there we go. See how close that is? That tends to catch on my skin right there if I'm holding it too high. So, although I like this is made in Salt Lake City, Utah, and these people at Cobra are some fantastic folks. I had bought this one. I didn't realize that this grip was cracked right here. It's right over the safety. It had a little tiny crack in it, and I didn't even notice it when I bought it. And I contacted them and I told them what it was, that I needed to buy a grip for it and what had happened. And they just sent it. They wouldn't even ask for my money. It's got a lifetime warranty. But they sent it to me, no questions asked, and I thanked them profusely. Well, I got the grips in, and then I couldn't find the right size Allen wrench to change them out. There's a little tiny one. So I laid the grips up somewhere and forgot all about them. And finally, I was doing these videos, I got the thing out and I said, oh crap, now where's my grips? And I could not find them things. So it's been over a year. I laid them up somewhere. So I called them up and said, hey, I need to buy a set now. And I told them, they said, well, you know, if they're defective, we'll replace them. They're really nice. And I told them, no. I said, my stupidity this time, not yours. I'm the one that, you know, misplaced them. You've already done what you're supposed to do. So they sent them right out. I got them and put them on. I'm very pleased. But this is a very nice weapon. I would like to get one of those wallet holsters. I don't know if any of y'all seen those. Little 380 slide right at it, and it's leather all around it, and it's got a hole for the trigger. So that'd be kind of cool. But damn, they're like 40 bucks. And I like doing it cheap. I might have to try to make me one. Anyway, this is not my preferred gun to carry for concealed, just because of that right there. I don't like the fact that I have caught my skin of my hand when that slide comes back, and it hurts. So I've not had the problem with this one, because you see where this is right here. This is way up there above me, so I like it a lot better. This old feller for around, I don't know, around $130, $140 maybe. I really like it. The little Cobra sells for $129, and I like the 22 long rifle just because it'll do what you're supposed to do. If you're carrying a concealed weapon, you're carrying it for a reason. You're carrying it for self-defense. You're not carrying it to hunt a man. You don't have a concealed carry permit because you want to be Rambo, because you want to go out there and you want to hunt the bad guy. That's not what it's about. And it just pisses me off when I hear these yahoos out there talking about how they're going to go do this and that and everything else. The whole idea behind having the weapon is protect yourself. You call the police after you have gotten out of the danger, the situation, you know, you're in a safe area or whatever. But the whole idea, nobody wants to deliberately shoot and kill someone. If you do, then there's something wrong with you. I'm not saying I wouldn't shoot someone that was going to harm me or a member of my family. That's, you know, that's self-defense. That's what it's all about. But you shouldn't go around, you know, saying, I want to shoot somebody. That's wrong. You know, I hope that makes sense. But I would like to share with you two perfect examples of how the a little .22 revolver saved my elderly father twice. First of all, like I said, is a .22. You don't have to have a large caliber concealed weapon to do the job. Nobody wants to get shot. It don't matter if it's that new little smaller caliber, smaller than a .22. I forget what it is, a 17 or something. Anyway, you pull out a gun, you point it at somebody. They don't like that. People don't like to have a gun pointed at them. It don't matter what the caliber is, because I guarantee if you point it at them, that hole into that barrel gets to be about that big. Anyhow, did somebody step on a duck? Where was I? Okay. Oh, me. Anyway, my dad worked for Browns Ferry Nuclear Plant, North Alabama. We lived in Tennessee, and he had a little Volkswagen. He drove a little Volkswagen Beetle. He drove back and forth to work every day. He worked 7 days a week. He worked 12 hours a day. And he was a journeyman electrician with IBEW. And at that time, I had a federal firearms license, and I ordered and purchased an H&R little .22 revolver. When you pulled the pin, the actual cylinder fell out. It wasn't hinged, it would just fall out. I mean, little cheap gun. I think I bought it wholesale for $29. But it did what it's supposed to do. And that was to deter a bad guy. My dad was coming home from work. He traveled back roads, old 2-lane back roads. And this bridge was blocked by 4 black men that had gotten out to take a leak. The car's right in the middle of the bridge, all 4 doors open, all 4 guys outside the car taking a leak. Well, my dad maintained a polite distance and waited for them. You know, you gotta go, you gotta go. We've all been there, we've all done that. If you ain't done that, you're a liar. Anyway, he said they gathered at the back of their car, just huddled up, started talking, looking at him. Finally, one of them come bebopping up. And my dad pulled that little .22, just had it right down there in front of his belly. And this black guy comes up and he said, "Hey motherfucker, what you got in that goddamn car?" Pardon my language, that's exactly what he said. He said, "Hey motherfucker, what you got in that goddamn car?" And my dad said, "I got this little pistol right here." And the black guy threw his arms up and said, "This motherfucker got a gun!" And he run, they got in the car and they took off. Now, this was out in the middle of nowhere. He was all alone. He was 60-something years old. Now, if he hadn't had something protect him, you tell me what might or might not have happened. I'll leave imagination to you, because we'll never know. All I know is he was safe to live and breathe another day. The second time, he was in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, getting something done to his truck. I don't know if it was tires, I don't know what it was, but anyway, he was in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, getting his truck worked on. And he asked the owner of the garage, he says, "Is there a place where I can get a biscuit and a cup of coffee?" He said, yeah, about 3 blocks down here. And he says, "Take my truck, you can drive down there." He said, Dad said, "Hell, I can walk 3 blocks, shit." He was about 68-year-old. He said, "I can walk 3 blocks, ain't no big deal." And the guy says, "This ain't the best neighborhood. You might want to just take my truck." My dad said, "No, I'll be all right." Well, he's 68-year-old. He didn't give a damn what anybody else thought about the way he looked or dressed. I mean, let me rephrase that. he wore a fanny pack, and he didn't care what you thought about it, because in that fanny pack was his pistol or his revolver. He's walking down the street. He hadn't got a block. He had not got a block away from this damn garage. Here come a black guy. You think I'm picking on black guys? I'm stating fact. I ain't trying to say that all black people are criminals, okay? I'm just telling you like it is. This is what happened. Black guy meets him. He says, "Hey man, can you tell me what time it is?" My dad had a nice watch, and he threw his arm up and said, "Yeah, it's about so and so." "Thank you, sir." They pass. Dad just reaches down, unzips that fanny pack right in front of his belly. He just unzipped it and reached in there and put his hand around that little revolver. And he's sort of looking back out of the corner of his eye, and he walked on. It wasn't just a few seconds. The guy said, "Hey man, you know, that's a pretty nice watch you got right there. I think I likes that watch." My dad turned to face him, pointed a little pistol at him, says, "I like it too." Guy took off. You tell me what would have happened if he hadn't had that little pistol on him. You know, we wasn't out causing no trouble. But by God, trouble come to you, you got to take care of it. So I'm a firm believer in all of us having the right to carry a weapon for our own personal protection. But he didn't start shooting at the guy. He didn't declare open season on black people. He didn't declare open season on anybody. He just protected himself. Get out of the situation. Neutralize the situation. That's the whole idea. If you want to carry it forward from there and contact law enforcement and have them chase the bad guys, fine. But that's not your job. So, I've shared what I feel about concealed carry. I don't think you ought to advertise to anybody. I carry mine about 90% of the time. You can guess what 10% I don't. But if you have never been brought up around guns, I can understand your apprehension. But for those of us that cut our teeth on gun barrels and break free and gun oil and all that, you know, we know what we're doing, and we're not bothering nobody. So leave us the hell alone. And I will tell you one more quick story. I was in Iraq. It was my first tour. I had been in the military close to 30, off and on, for close to 30 years at that time. I used the M16 in 1976, and I qualified with it and handled it every year after that. And I was as comfortable with an M16 as I am my own single shot shotgun at home, okay? We had to draw our weapons from the arsenal there in Iraq, and then when we'd be done with our mission, we'd turn them back in. We didn't carry them to our cots with us like the Army did. Bless their hearts, Army boys, they didn't go anywhere without theirs. And us Air Force guys, we only carried them when we went off base. Anyway, go in there, turn my weapon in, and I dropped a magazine out of it, and my supervisor said, "Well, you have to clear the chamber before you turn it to give it to them." I said, "All right," and went, pulled the charging handle, and gun locked open. All around me, people hitting the damn floor. And I said, and they just hollering at me, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, What are you talking about?" "Oh no, you're supposed to point it over there in that barrel and all that in case there's an accidental discharge." And I said, "Well, I know my weapon. I know I already unloaded it. And I know that pulling back the charging handle is not going to make it shoot. It's going to eject the one shell that is in there." So it's just funny as hell. These people that rarely ever handle a weapon are scared to freaking death of them. So, you know, those of you that don't handle weapons, you ain't got no right to vote on whether or not I can or cannot. That's just like telling me now I have to wear my damn seatbelt or I pay a $25. I'm not going to go there. Folks, that's a rant for another day. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye.